Oh, Tiffany, are you there? I just wanted to say thanks again for all that you're doing. I really, really appreciate you letting me stay with you. Thanks.
Sorry, you're coming to stay with me? What are you talking about? I don't remember talking about this ever.
Well, you know how I'm trying to study so that I can go to law school, right? Well, I just can't study at all living with my parents, so I realized that I need a new place to go where I'll be able to concentrate. So I asked my mom about where she thought I should go, and she told me about how Chris was going away on a business trip. So I figured that since you would have the space for me without my brother there, that I could move in.
Okay, hold on just a second there, Carly. Yes, it is true that Chris is away on a long business trip. But I don't get why you have to move all the way over here just to study. I mean, you're not even in law school yet, right?
Well, yeah, but the law schools I want to go to are around where you live in New York. So I figure I might as well start getting used to living up there. And then once I finish taking the LSATs, I can just move all my things right into the school. Isn't that great?
Look, Carly, I really want to help you in whatever way I can. But I just don't think this is the way to go about doing this. Besides, I would have to talk to Chris about this first.
So you're going to tell me that you want to help me any way that you can, but then refuse to help me? And I don't get why you would have to go and ask my brother. Of course he would approve of this. You shouldn't even bother asking him. I already know the answer he'd give anyways. That's why I'm on my way to your place right now.
Hold on a second. You're already on your way here, but I haven't even said yes. This is the first that we're talking about this.
I know, but the date for the LSATs are coming up, and I've already registered to take them in New York. So once I move in, I am going to be really busy studying.
But Carly, I'm sorry. This is just all so sudden, and I don't think I can approve of this.
What are you talking about? Why are you being such a stick in the mud about this? I mean, you're just a housewife who isn't really doing anything anyways, right? So since your husband is away, I can take his place and you can take care of me, right?
You really expect me to be taking care of you while you're away? You can't be serious.
Thank you so much. So just a heads up, every morning for breakfast, I would like to have a smoothie with fresh fruit. Then I want you to keep lunch light for me since I like to have naps in the afternoon. But make sure that you make something with things that are good for your brain for dinner, since that's when I'm going to be doing most of my studying. And I also want you to keep your place well stocked with lots of snacks.
Are you seriously telling me that you want me to cook 3 meals a day for you?
And on top of all that, you really want me to bring snacks to you as well? Why are you acting as if that's a big deal? You're a housewife. All you do is cook anyways, right? Besides, I'm going to be a lawyer one day, so I think that it would be best to help me when I need it or stay on my good side, you know?
Hold on a second. Let me guess. Next, you're going to tell me that in addition to cooking for you, I'm also going to have to do the laundry and all the cleaning too, right?
Well, duh, I'm going to be busy studying all day, so you need to be taking care of all that kind of work. I'll basically just leave it all to you while I hit the books.
I don't even know what to say to that. Do you really think that you can just live here and have me do everything to take care of you? What are you going to contribute in terms of rent? Are you at least going to help with the bills while you're here?
Whoa, what? What kind of way is that to talk to family? Here I am humbly asking for a little help from you, and you're telling me that you won't unless I cough up some money? Do you not want me to go to school? Do you not want me to follow my dreams of being a lawyer? Because law school isn't cheap, and I have to save money everywhere that I can.
Are you kidding me? Is that really the best that you can come up with?
Anyways, like I said, I'm already on the way over to your place right now. And just remember that whether or not I succeed at this is riding entirely on you. So make sure you do a good job of being there for me.
Hey, Tiff, you there? I'm so sorry for not getting back to you yesterday. I was just so crazy busy and I'm only checking my phone right now. So did Carly really end up coming to our place?
She did. She arrived late last night, and I couldn't believe it. Now she's treating our place just like she owns it or something. It's just ridiculous.
Well, I can't believe that she's actually doing this.
So I take that means you also had no idea that she was going to pull something like this?
I had no idea that this was going to happen at all until I saw your messages that you'd sent me. And then there was just one message from Carly telling me that she was going to be using my office.
So she did tell you something?
Kind of. I tried to respond and ask her what she meant, but she just left me on red and never responded to me. I had no idea what she was talking about, and I certainly didn't think she was going to go this far.
I know, right? It's like, what is she thinking doing this?
Well, I talked to my parents, and they filled me in a little more about what was going on. I guess that Carly wasn't making any progress on moving out or finding any work, besides the part-time job that she already had. Then all of a sudden, she started talking about wanting to become a lawyer. My parents think it's because she's been really into this lawyer show, and that's the only reason she's acting this way.
Well, I think it's fine to have ambition and want to pursue a challenging goal. But didn't your sister drop out of community college? Because, no offense to her, but I think the LSAT is supposed to be quite challenging, and I think you're supposed to have at least a bachelor's before starting a law program anyways.
So then you really think that she came to our house to try and study for the test? Because I really wonder if she's actually studying for it at all. Yeah, not only that, but I hear that for some of the schools she's talked about wanting to go to, that she'll have to get a really high score.
And you're telling me that you don't think she's going to be able to make the cut for that?
From what I was reading, these schools only take the cream of the crop. But I guess that Carly must be really confident in herself. I guess there's still about 6 months before the tests are held, but does that mean that she's really going to just keep living with us until then?
Hold on a second, the LSATs aren't for another 6 months? I was prepared to put up with Carly for maybe about a month or so, but she can't stay with us for 6 months. Especially if she's expecting me to act like her maid. Did you know she wants me to cook all her meals and do her laundry for her?
Oh, she really gets too carried away sometimes. I just have no idea what she's thinking. But I think you should try and throw her out. I would help if I could, but I certainly don't want her touching any of my stuff.
Well, unfortunately, I think that is much easier said than done.
But she can't just squat at our house if we don't want her there. Doesn't she realise that?
Actually, you know what? I think it's great that Carly is chasing her dreams like this. Maybe we should give her some credit and support her through this. And I think it'd be fine if she uses your office as her bedroom. At least that way we can keep our room clean. You do want to support your sister, don't you?
Well, of course I want to, but are you really sure about this? I didn't even think that you were much of a fan of Carly to begin with.
Well, it's only for 6 months, right? And as long as Carly actually studies during that time, then you and I might end up with a lawyer we can count on.
I guess that's true, yeah. And if she managed to get a job, I know it'd make my parents really happy.
Great, then it's settled. And this works for me since I was starting to get lonely without anyone to talk to since you left.
Wow, well, okay. That's great. I can talk to my parents about this and maybe convince them to pitch in and help you out some. How does about $500 a month sound?
Oh, I think that would be plenty for me. Thank you very much. Now, let's get your sister through law school. Carly, can you please let me back in the house? I still don't even understand why you had to throw me out in the first place.
Because I have my test in 3 days, don't you get it? How am I supposed to concentrate knowing that you're in the house with a fever? I had no choice but to throw you out.
And just what is that supposed to mean?
I mean that if I got your cold, then I might have to miss my test. Then I would have wasted all the effort that I've been putting into studying for the past month. That's why, until I'm done with the test, you are not allowed back in, so don't come back until you're better.
So then you're really just going to kick me out of the house while I have this high fever? Do you have any idea how cold it is out here? The least you could do is let me pack a bag.
You really are a useless woman, do you know that? How dare you not realize that you're only getting in the way of your amazing sister-in-law trying to achieve her dreams? Don't even talk to me. I can't believe that you would get a cold like this just so that you could try and sabotage me. It's like you really want me to fail at everything.
Carly, you don't really believe that, do you? Of course I don't want you to fail, but I just got a bit of a cold is all.
You really think I'm going to buy an excuse like that?
It's not an excuse. I was feeling sick yesterday, and you had no problem talking with me and telling me to go to the store for you. In fact, because it was raining all day yesterday when I went out, I think that's why I'm feeling so sick.
Well, it's because I needed you to go out and buy the ingredients for my good luck meal. Ever since I was in high school, I would always eat a lot of foods that start with A so that I would get that grade.
But you shoved me out of the house so quickly yesterday that I couldn't even grab an umbrella. By the time I got back, I was completely soaked. But I've been doing my best to stay out of your way and make sure that you have everything you need to study. So I don't get why I'm being kicked out of the house this time.
For the last time, you are being kicked out so that this house doesn't become a petri dish and so I don't get sick.
Is this really the way that you're thanking me after all that I've done for you? After all the cooking and cleaning and support that I've given you? I can't believe that this is the way that you're paying back the person who let you live in their home free for 6 whole months. Do you have any idea just how much of my own money I've sunk into you, Carly? But I thought it would be okay as long as I was helping you study.
Oh, just shut up already, would you? Quit sending me all these sobby, sad texts. If you really wanted to help me pass my test, then you would never have gotten sick in the first place. If you still want to help me, then you can just sit there and shut up.
So you really expect me to just sit outside my own house for 3 days with a fever like this? Is this any way for someone who wants to be a lawyer to treat people? Is this the way lawyers treat the people who helped them get to where they are?
Oh, don't worry. You'll be getting plenty of gratitude as soon as I'm actually a lawyer. Because once I am, I'll be making millions of dollars. Maybe I'll even kick some back your way for all that you've been doing for me. But if you want that to happen, then you better leave me alone so that I can pass.
I don't care about the money, Carly. That was never what this was about. I just thought that you would have a little more gratitude after all this time.
Look, you are keeping me from studying. What was the point of kicking you out if you still won't leave me alone? Just go away and don't come back until you're feeling better, got it?
You better watch how you talk to my wife, Carly.
Wait, what? Are you delirious or something? Has your fever gotten that bad?
I want to know just what you think you're doing right now, huh, sis? Because you got some real nerve kicking my wife out of our house after all she's been doing for you. You do realise that the person who's been taking care of you for the past 6 months is sick, right? Or do you just not care?
Wait, sis, your wife, is this Chris? But I thought that you were away on your business trip, right?
I was away, yeah, and now I've come back. I actually requested to come back early so that I could try and make it for you when you took the LSAT. I wanted to let you know that you had more support than you knew.
Wait a second. You mean that you came home early just to cheer me on for my test?
That was the plan. But now that I come to this, I don't know what to think. What I do know is that you have a family member who is sick and you've literally thrown them out of the house. What kind of person does that, huh?
But you don't understand. I'm going to be taking my test in 3 days. I wasn't about to let myself catch a cold from Tiffany. I'm just trying to keep her away until I've safely taken it is all.
If that's what you're worried about, why not just ask Tiffany to stay in her room and rest? This is our house after all. You were the one that showed up here uninvited. In fact, it was Tiffany who finally came around on letting you stay as long as you have.
Well, that's nice of her, but still, it doesn't change the facts.
The facts are that you've been taking advantage of my wife's kindness for your own gain. And now, you've gone too far. Who do you think you are, kicking your own host out of their home?
But I didn't have any money to stay anywhere else. What was I supposed to do?
I don't care what you do or where you go. You can go study under a bridge for all I care. Your test is only in 3 days. Surely you're not going to forget all that you've studied if I kick you out now, right?
Kick me out? You wouldn't really do that, right? Not after I've come so close to finally taking the test. The whole reason I came here in the first place.
I don't care about your test at all right now, Carly.
Please, you're scaring me. Why are you acting like this?
Why are you acting like this, Carly? Don't you get how wrong this is? You've let this get way out of hand, and I hope you do fail for all the horrible things you've done up to now. Especially for taking advantage of my wife like this. How dare you use her kindness just to throw her out like this?
Please, I never would have done that if I knew you were going to get so upset. I guess I just lost sight of what was really important. I just didn't want to catch a cold so close to my test is all. You can understand that, right? You can't blame me for that.
Hey, Carly, how'd the test end up going for you? I just wanted to let you know that my fever went down and I'm feeling better.
The test was horrible. It was the worst that I've ever done, and when I fail, it'll be all your fault.
But how can you know that when the test just ended right now?
I don't need to wait for the results. I already know that I failed. You've made me waste a whole year of my life. Do you know that? A whole year!
And why don't you think you need to wait for the results? What makes you think you didn't pass?
Because I couldn't even get in to take the test. I forgot my entrance slip and I didn't have a spare downloaded on my phone. They didn't even let me take the test.
You forgot your entrance pass? Well, how did you do that?
You know how it happened. When Chris came home, he burst into the house and started yelling at me to pack up my bags and leave. I was so scared and in such a rush that I must have left that pass behind in Chris's office somewhere. That's why this is all your fault. This would have never happened if you hadn't caught that stupid cold.
Well, it sounds to me like you're just looking for everyone but yourself to blame for this, but at least you'll always be able to take it again next year.
You mean that you'll let me come back to your place to study again next year?
No. That is not what I said. I never want you setting foot in my house again, and neither does Chris, for that matter.
But then how am I supposed to study for the test? Where am I supposed to live? Who's going to cook for me?
I think those are all issues that you'll have to figure out yourself. I gave you much more help than you deserved, and you spit it all back in my face. Well, I am certainly not going to make that mistake again.
Please, I'm sorry. I won't ever act that way again. I'm so sorry, Tiffany.
After that, Carly was unsure of who to turn to and fled back to her parents' house. But since she left, her parents had changed the locks on the door and refused to let her in. Realizing she had no one but herself who she could rely on, Carly found a job and a small, cheap apartment where she could still study to pursue her dream of being the next big pop star. Even though she's already in her late 20s, Carly was inspired by her experience studying for the LSAT. She was sure that she could do anything if she set her mind to it. She even started a few social media pages to try and promote herself, and, well, they're going about as well as you would expect them to. But who knows? Maybe one day she'll prove everyone wrong and be the next big thing.
Hey, you piece of trash.
Who are you talking to?
You, of course.
Watch your language. That's not how you speak to your father.
Who cares? You're trash anyways. Back on track. Did you use my hairbrush? I smell the stinky hair wax of yours, and it's disgusting.
Oops, sorry about that. I was in a rush.
Don't mess around with me. Now it's contaminated. You owe me money for the brush, understand?
Fine, but you don't have to be that angry.
It's $150.
What?
Mine's expensive, okay? It's from a famous brand. So you owe me $150 ASAP.
For just a hairbrush? You don't need such an expensive hairbrush. You're only 17. Isn't it too good for you?
Shut up. I'm too good for you to be my father.
Jeez.
You should understand it's a miracle for you to have a family like me and Mom. You're even living in Grandpa's house. So you should be thankful for what you have, Steve.
Olivia, enough. As I said, that's not how you speak to your father. Did I do something wrong to you? I mean, you used to call me Dad back then.
You're annoying. Your whole existence is annoying me. Don't you realize that you're a lame father?
What do you mean?
I can't believe you don't know yourself. Your looks, how you dress, and how you smell, everything's just horrible.
Olivia, I didn't know you were thinking of me like that.
Well, are you anything better? No. You can't even buy a house by yourself, and you're living on your wife's parents' money. You're one awful freeloader. You're just a parasite to everyone.
Excuse me? Stop calling your father a parasite. It's rude.
No wonder Mom doesn't love you. Remember last time when you asked us out for family dinner? And you got rejected?
I do admit that, but I never imagined in my life my daughter would make fun of me like this one day.
Oh, somebody's feeling weak, huh? Then will you mind getting divorced with Mom? Didn't she ever tell you so? It just kills me thinking about the fact that I'm even sharing some of your DNA. So if you care about me, please at least get out of my sight. I don't want to see you any longer.
I can't just let go of my responsibility of being a parent, you know?
I don't care. Breathing the same air with you just drives me nuts. So shut up and get away already.
Olivia, you need to understand. I'm your father, and there's a lot of stuff I'm working hard on at the moment. So can you please give me some time?
Yeah, right. Working hard. Wait, or are you making money for me? Then I can wait. So, you finally signed the divorce papers? I was almost about to lose my temper having to see your face.
I couldn't take it anymore. I don't need a fake family that wouldn't treat me as one.
Of course no one wants to be in the same family with you. Who do you think you are?
I just handed in all the legal documents, so now I'm officially out of this house.
Thank God. Now you're finally gone.
By the way, where's your mother? I've been making phone calls to her for the past 10 minutes, but she never picks up.
Obviously, she's on a date, genius.
Huh?
Don't you see? She's looking for a new partner.
But I just handed in the documents a few minutes ago. How's that possible?
Oh, you don't know? Mom started looking for one like half a year ago. I'm hoping she brings home a better father for me, though. So glad that the parasite is finally out of the house. Oh yeah, by the way, don't forget to pay me for my educational expenses and stuff. You're biologically my father, so it's your responsibility. Let's say, how about 200K for now?
Well, I'm not your father then.
What?
I said I'm not your father.
I didn't know you were that stupid. You thought you could get away with this if you get divorced? Things don't work that easily, genius. You thought a divorce would let you get away with your responsibility? Stop dreaming.
I do. Besides, I never had the responsibility to be your father anyways.
Now what? You're such a jerk. The worst being ever to live. I can't believe you're trying to do this to your child. What do you think I gave you the time for? You're the one who asked for the time, and I gave you a chance. Don't tell me you failed.
I didn't fail, I just decided not to. First of all, what do you mean I have to pay 200K? That's way too much.
It's all the expenses for me to grow up. You're the one who selfishly decided to leave, right? Borrow money or get a loan and pay for what you need to. Don't you see that I don't even want to talk to you anymore? It's just making my life miserable. Just give me the money and get out of my life already.
Get out of my life, huh? I'll give those words straight back to you.
What do you mean?
Come on, you're already a high schooler. Is my English that difficult for you? Your parents should have educated you better.
Hello? Why don't you check yourself in the mirror? Unfortunately, you are one of my parents. No other way.
Oh please, is communicating in English that hard for you? Get help. As I said a million times, I am not your father.
I don't see where this is going.
For God's sake, I took a DNA test and the results came out that I'm not your father, and you are not my daughter. Understood? Whose daughter even are you?
Wait, I don't understand. You're joking around with me, right?
Then let me explain again. I was never your father. And you were some random guy's daughter. Period.
I don't believe you. The results must be wrong. Most of all, I never even took a DNA test in my life. How can you be so sure?
Just so you know, my parents have been suspecting whether you're my actual daughter. I've been convincing them that you were my daughter for the whole time. But since it was a good opportunity this time, I decided to take the test. But I didn't expect the results to turn out like this. As people say, you should always listen to your parents, I guess.
Stop it! I know you're lying to me.
I'm not. Sadly, this is the truth.
Then how did you even test my DNA?
Your hairbrush. I took some of your hair off the brush and handed it in for testing. I cleaned the brush the day before and collected samples the next day, right after you finished using it. Obviously, you were the only one using it, so it can't be anyone else's hair.
That is so disgusting! How dare you do that? That's what a stalker does, not a father.
Whatever you say. Well, thanks to that, I got to realize the truth.
I can't believe this. So it's true that I'm not your daughter?
Exactly. So there's no such thing as my responsibility to pay for your educational expenses at all.
Oh my.
Oh yeah, just so to inform everyone, don't forget to move out of that house during this week, okay?
Huh?
It's gonna be someone else's house by next week.
What are you talking about? Are you nuts? You're just a freeloader. And it's my grandparents' house.
The house is signed under my name, you know.
No way.
That house was passed down from my parents when they passed away before my marriage. When I married your mother, she asked me if she can invite her parents over so she can take care of them. And I approved it, see?
I don't believe you. Mom told me it was her family's house.
Maybe she was trying to take it away from me, since she found her way to make you my daughter. Well, too bad. The cat's already out of the bag.
So this house belonged to you in the first place?
Yep, since the very beginning. And now it'll be someone else's, since I managed to find a person who was interested in buying it. They told me they're ready to move in next week, so good luck with packing your stuff.
You freak! How could you do this to us? You're kicking us out all of a sudden? That's not fair!
Wait, let me get this straight. Wasn't it you guys who kicked me out in the first place?
Well,
Anyways, good luck.
no, please. Not the house. Cancel the deal immediately.
But then I'll have to pay for the cancellation fee. Are you gonna pay for me? It's about $100K in total. Sound good?
Are you crazy? Of course I can't afford that. And neither can Mom.
I bet. I mean, there's other fees coming up, like the compensation for me. A house shouldn't be the priority, right?
Now what? What compensation?
About you, of course. I was fooled for 13 years of my precious lifetime. To raise someone else's child, I'm the victim of this whole situation.
No one fooled you. It's not our fault. Besides, I don't think Mom was even trying to fool you for that.
Oh, really? I was talking to some of your friends, and I even have the records as proof. They told me your mom told everyone that she married me for a stable life, because she got dumped right before she found out about her pregnancy.
What? Why would Mom tell that to people?
Well, there's no lie that I was doing my best to bring us back together. But since she was going out quite often when I didn't know, I decided to hire a detective. And guess what? There was loads of evidence that she was hanging out with other men. Then I finally realized how much time I was wasting.
But it's not completely our fault that you weren't loved, is it?
Yeah, you're right. So I no longer have the need to work hard for any of you anymore.
What do you mean?
I did know your mother was going out with many other men, but I never knew she was looking for a new partner before divorce. I guess that means a rise in the compensation.
No!
So don't forget to tell your mother that we'll have a lawyer in between us in any kind of conversation from now on.
Are you sure about this? If you let go of Mom, you'll never find a chance to get married again. Like, ever. No one will be interested in a middle-aged, poor businessman, I'm sure. I've been convincing them that you were my father the whole time. I'll talk to Mom, so please?
Then what if the middle-aged man owned a business?
What?
I never informed you guys about this, but I started my own business half a year ago.
How?
I did work as a technician at a company, but I decided to start something for myself using the programming projects I worked on myself during my free time. I never knew how it would end up, but I guess everything's going better than expected. We're even moving our office into the city.
So what? There's nothing special starting a business these days. There's rental offices and even virtual ones. What's so special?
I make $30K a month. How does that sound?
You mean a year?
Nope. A month.
What? You're kidding!
Swear to God. so there's nothing so bad for me to being single at this time of my career. I have something I can feel passionate about, and there's more opportunities to meet new people. You should start worrying about yourself, not me.
Dad, I'm sorry. Please come back. You shouldn't have gotten divorced.
Dad? Stop joking. It gets on my nerves. As I said, I am not your father.
Maybe we don't have a connection in our blood, but we spent 13 years together. You're my one and only dad. I was just shy, you know? It's hard for kids at my age to let everything out. But I love you as my dad. Please, come back. Or take me with you.
I'm surprised how you can say so much. To be honest, I was shocked to find out the results of the test.
See?
Even if you weren't my actual daughter, I did raise you for 13 years. And since it wasn't your fault all of this started, I did consider paying for your education. Well, too bad. You ruined it yourself.
No, please. I was just an innocent child. I didn't do anything. You need to reconsider this, Dad.
No one wants to be in the same family as me, right?
Yes, I do.
Didn't the fact that we share DNA kill you? But good news, we don't, even a single bit. Thanks for not being my daughter. Good luck in life. The very next week, the new residents of the house moved in, which means the family had no other choice but to leave. Without anywhere else to go, they rented a small apartment, too small for 4 people to fit in. And about the results of my trial, the fact that my ex-wife fooled me to raise her daughter as my actual child got into consideration, which got me an amount of $60,000 in compensation. Since there's no way my ex-wife can afford that money at once, she is living in debt at the moment, without a proper house to stay in. Now the whole entire family, including her parents, are working part-time to pay back the debt. On the other hand, my business has been going better than ever, doing new things every day. Although I haven't met someone special yet, ever since, it will be nice to have a true family in the future.